Hey guys, so in this video, we will be continuing off our previous video, which we were creating an everything app where we are pretty much cloning just different AI apps from different providers and just combining it into this one app. On our last video, we cloned ChatGPT and created the multi-model functionality where you can choose different models to perform the chat with the AI assistant. Now in this video, we are going to be cloning the functionality of Perplexity, and we will be enabling AI web search with our AI assistant. I will be using my go-to method, which is the spec-driven development, or the simple term for it is just doing a lot of planning before doing any development work. So to do that, I will be using Codespace, where it will generate my knowledge base and then my tasks and also my technical specification documentation. And if you don't know, this is way better than doing the typical vibe coding approach, which is just prompt engineering, where you just, prompt away. You spend a lot of time prompting and thinking about prompts, where instead you could just plan out a whole feature or a whole product and then create docs for it. And that would be a lot better because then the AI you're working on or the AI you're working with, like Claude Code, Cursor, or like Codex, they will have a better understanding because they have a lot more context to work with. So that's what I'll be doing in this video. And I have actually already made the plans, and also the docs have been generated by Codespace, which is, it's here. Now, as you can see, it has also executed the code to add the feature, and we'll be looking into that also in this video. As you can see, this is the logs that was generated by the AI agent that I used, which was running on Claude Code SDK with Sonnet 4.5. Now it generated our text back here, and it was just based on my initial prompt, which was this one. And it was pretty simple. It was just like, I just explained what I wanted to implement, which is the Perplexity feature, which is basically just a pipeline of using a search engine and then passing it through an AI. And then, of course, you get that AI summarizing all the different results and then returning it to us through the AI assistant of choice with any models you choose. So, this is the text spec that was generated from that, which is very detailed. And it also generated these tasks, which were very specific for the agents to execute easily. So as you can see, the results are here. And you can see that AI has, or the agent or Claude Code with Sonnet 4.5 has finished all these tasks. And I have pulled it to my local machine because it did open up a PR over here. When you click that, it will open up the PR and you can just review that, or you can just see the changes. And if you want to check it out yourself, just copy this branch or you can just copy this whole prompt here and then just paste it in your Claude Code or any agent instance, as I've done here. As you can see, I am on that branch, and I also did a commit just to fix some minor changes. Now, I am going to be using Claude Code with Sonnet 4.5. Here it is. And for a bit of a planning or like just, brainstorming work, I will be using Codex because I find that it is a lot better in that department. To power up our Perplexity clone, I will be using what's called SearXNG. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but that's it. And it is an open source project where it is essentially just a search engine that is built on top of other search engines. You can see the docs here. It is really good to use. I've used it a lot in the past. And they have a specific API for it, which is very nice. You can use it on your apps and you can self-host it. Sorry, I'm not sure what the correct API URL is, but you get the point. Since Codespace has done all the tasks and I have also pulled it to my local machine, I will be showing you guys what it did and how it implemented everything according to the tech spec. As you can see, I just want to show you guys that I am on the latest commit on this branch that was created by Codespace. And this was my last commit. I just made some tweaks to the UI, but that was it. But this was the main changes that were created from Codespace. As you can see, it was co-authored by Claude Code because Claude Code was running on Codespace in the Codespace server. And they already made quite a lot of changes. And I'll just show you guys the demo. So here's the chat UI that we created on our last video. Now let's see the changes now. There is a web search toggle here at the bottom, which you can toggle off or on. And there is also a model settings, which you can choose the different summarization model, which will be used for summarizing the search results from SearXNG. And also the chat model, which is the typical AI assistant that we will be talking to. So let's test it out. See if it's able to do a search and also get the latest data and also summarize that and pass it on to us through the AI assistant of our choice. So let's enable that and let me search something that is very recent. I will just ask, hey, when is Claude Code web released? Now, a typical model wouldn't know this because it is very recent, and a lot of models have a knowledge cutoff before that period, so they wouldn't get it. But let's see, with web search on, let me just search that with, let me use GPT-4o, search that. And while that's going, I'm also gonna do another prompt with the same model, but without the search to make sure it actually works. I will just copy this and paste it in here without the web search this time and see if that does anything or if it even returns the correct result. So yeah, there you can see it wasn't able to let us know what the release date was because of course they don't have the data on it. But with the web search on, it is able to show the correct date, which was, it was released 3 days ago for me. And it also gave some sources, which is very nice. That's what I wanted. And that was integrated in the system prompt, which is nice. There you go. When I opened up the link, it goes to the correct links. That was the result from the search engine we use, which is SearXNG. Now, there are some things that have not been implemented yet that we need to implement on this video. And I'll be showing you guys how to do so by going through the planning, also the implementation, and also the testing. And that is the feature of actually seeing the sources, because right now I'm not able to see any sources like in Perplexity, where you can see all the different cards and all the different links. I just wanted to show you guys. So this is what we want, which is, these resources or these references on Perplexity, which is really nice. Like I use it all the time and to just double check the sources. And it also has these suggestions. But the main thing is these cards here at the top. That's what I want. And we don't have that yet on our current version of the Everything app. But yeah, we will be adding that, which is, we also need to add the database schema, because when I checked from Drizzle and I checked the schema, it does not actually save each of the sources yet. So yeah, that needs to be added so that we can, pull it every time, and it will be a better experience for us. And also later on when we want to scale the app to build other features. Okay, so I am on Codespace now, and I want to add a follow-up task. I just clicked on this button here, follow-up task, and it opened up this input, and I've written down what I wanted to add on this current task that was already implemented by Claude Code on the Codespace server. And now I just need to enter, I just need to press this add follow-up button. I made a new follow-up task to add the new database schema for saving the sources from the search, and also to display the UI. I wanted that to look like the one on Perplexity to show the sources. And as you can see, the text spec was generated from Codespace. It was just picking up from my original prompt here, and then it was able to expand it to this whole text spec with the information about my repository or my code base, and it was able to point out what to change and how to approach each of the changes. The tasks generated from Codespace has been worked on by Claude Code, and it is done. These were the tasks that was created from the text spec on our follow-up task. And let's check it out on our local machine. To see the latest changes from Codespace on our local repository, we can just go and pull the latest changes from GitHub, and you can do so by hitting this button here, because I have git graph. If not, you can just git fetch and then do a git pull. Now let me just do a git pull here. Okay, there we go. Now there is quite a lot of changes. Now I see there is a migration, so let's apply that migration to do that on our repository, because I'm using the code guide starter kit. It already has a set of scripts that I can run. And if you see here, you can just run db push to push the changes from the migration. Let's just do that. npm run db push. Okay, there we go. It just pushed all the changes that was created on the new migration, which was this one. Now let's double check that was created. So you should just create a new table. Yep, this is the table, and it will save all our search sources or our references to all the chat messages that use the web search feature. So let's try it out. So let's just double check that the dev server is running correctly and there are no errors. Okay, it's just warnings, but that's fine. Let's just open up the dev server right now. Okay, so it is running, and let's enable web search and do the same query. Which is when was web release? Just to see if you get consistent results. Let's see. So we would want to see the references come up and also it being saved to the database. Okay, so there are some errors right now. So to tackle this error, I usually just, just copy it and then just paste it to Claude Code. But just looking at it briefly, it seems to just be a TypeScript error. But let me check. Because it is using Assistant UI, I will need to use Context 7. If you don't know what Context 7 is, Context 7 pretty much is an MCP that enables access to the latest docs on a lot of different libraries. And you can just set it up on the Context 7 docs to fix this. There we go. Now this should help it, but let's see. Okay, let me do this query. It should trigger the search and get the correct information. Okay, so this is correct because this is a newly built browser from OpenAI, which was just released like today, or maybe it was yesterday. But yeah, it is showing that it is able to get the source. But yeah, let's see if it is being saved to the database. So this is the new search sources table. Okay, it is saving everything to the database. That's nice. But the issue is we're not seeing any of the card on the UI. So it's supposed to show, similar to Perplexity, the cards of the sources and the links to it. Since there was still a missing feature of, showing the actual cards for the sources, I will be using Codex to plan the fix for it, and then I'll execute the plan with Claude Code. So let me just make a prompt for Codex for the planning. And I'm going to be using GPT-5 High model because I find that to have the best reasoning. I wrote a prompt to GPT-5 through Codex, and yeah, it is just an instruction to create a plan to fix the issue we were facing. And it has made the whole plan for it, and it is saved to the sources card fixed.md file, as you can see here. Now, what I like to do, I just review it, and if it's all good, I just go ahead and execute it with Claude. To do that, I just open up Claude Code. It should be here. Yep, there it is. Now I just refer to the plan that was created by GPT-5 High, and I just tell it to execute. So execute the plan. And yep, that's gonna run, and we'll see how it goes. All right, guys, you can see here that the cards are now showing on the session that where I used web search, which is nice, and you can scroll horizontally to see all the sources it used, and when we click it, it should open it on the new tab. That's great, and it was using the plan with one prompt. It was able to fix everything. That's why I like to use Codex with Claude Code, because Codex is essentially free because, when you have a ChatGPT plan, it comes with your plan and you can just use it. The GPT-5 High model is really good at making these plans. But if you want to make a more complex plan, I do prefer using Codespace, which just does everything for you. And also you don't have to worry about any rate limits with your provider. Now, yeah, this is a really good overall UI for now. So that's it for the Perplexity clone. It is working fine. And yeah, I was making searches and it was able to store it in the database and then also display it now on the message in the saved session. That's great. So that's it for this video. Don't forget, if you have any feedback or have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. If you do want to have a discussion with us, talking about different models, talking about different approaches with AI coding, you can go ahead and click in the link in the description. There is our Discord channel. It is free to join for anyone. So if you want to, you can do so. And thank you for watching.